Det er Stenkløv, ja.
Ute av andre skiver noen gang.
Skål!
Ute av andre skiver.
Ja, det er jævlig bra det.
I can't tell you enough how much it means to you to say, Good evening, Oslo!
I think, you know, just because I think what happened at the time was a lot of people didn't kind of assumed, the bands that broke up kind of assumed that, you know, thrash almost kind of died when they broke up, and they just didn't even know that there was a demand for it, you know. And, you know, a lot of the bands that did reform, and some of them, you know, just did for a few shows and then broke up again. But, you know, I just think it's such a fun type of music to play, and the release and the energy is undeniable, you know, from a performer's point of view and from an audience point of view. And I think a lot of the bands that got back on stage for that show realized that what they'd been missing, you know, I for one had no idea how much I missed playing it until we did that one show, and I was like, oh, I didn't even want, you know, halfway into the first song I didn't want the night to end, you know. And just has been wonderful. And so few people in life get a second chance at doing something they truly love, and we're fortunate enough to get that second chance, and I'm not going to give it up for anything.
No, but in 2004 you started working with a new album. But how was it to begin the writing process as a band, as Death Angel again, going back to thrash, to the early years, being young again?
Yeah, that's what was odd, because you know, we did a few tours of Europe with you know, after we reformed, and this is prior to writing the first comeback album, and that was easy because, you know, we just had to relearn the old songs and get up there, and it was amazing. It was the time when all of a sudden labels started approaching us. That's when we had to sit down and have a meeting and go, okay, you know, can we do this kind of thing? And if we're going to do this, we better do it right. And, you know, we all sat down and said, you know, let's make a go of it. And, you know, at first the writing felt a little odd because you're going back to, you know, a time that you wrote a specific type of music that fans hold really close to them, and we did as well, you know. And kind of tapping back into that energy after years, it was a little odd at first, but then, you know, once we started writing a few songs and hearing them back, we were like, oh yeah, we could do this. And you know, I think with the first album, you know, or the comeback album, The Art of Dying, that there's definitely standouts, but I don't think it's as consistent of an album, but there's definitely standouts on it. And by the time we hit the last one, Killing Season, it was a lot more aggressive and more to the point and not so jarbly. And I think now more than ever we're even more focused, and we, you know, we're recording a new album right now. Matter of fact, all the basic tracks are done. The only thing that's left to do is lead vocals and lead guitar, and then have it mixed. And this is the one that's we recorded right now is by far the heaviest and fastest Death Angel album, with the most aggressive one that we've ever done.
And for those of you who don't, we want to thank you for lending an open mind and listening to us play our fucking thrash metal at a festival that's usually more black metal, but we fucking love it all, man, and we love you guys for sticking around. Thank you very much. Right now, we're going to bring you back to an album called The Ultraviolence. A song called Voracious Sounds!
So what's the difference between today's thrash and the thrash from the 80s?
That's a tough one because, you know, nowadays, and there's what's great is there's a lot of younger bands playing it too, which is brilliant. You know, I just think that the main difference is just, you know, the era, the time. It was a magical time the first time around, and you felt like you were definitely part of something new. You knew you were part of something new, and here nowadays that'd be the only difference because it's still just as amazing to play, and it's crazy that. You see, another main thing is just the crowd. When you look at the crowd, the age group is insane now because there's younger kids into it, and, you know, people that were old in the 80s, you know, coming to see it. Now it's amazing. I can't, you know, say enough how wonderful it is.
But I'm really wondering, because when you're young, you have the voice, you have this great rage as a young boy, and you can get this terrible, loud screams. And I wonder, can you still do the screams, as in like Kill Us One from the Ultraviolence? Could you still do this high, really high screams?
Oh yeah.
You show us tonight?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to show you tonight. Hell yeah, I'm excited. No, definitely.
So what can we expect here at Inferno this year from Death Angel?
Just pure raw human fucking energy. Excuse my language, but just it's such a release. And one thing we've always been is a live band. You know, I don't think we've ever captured the energy on record that we do live. And you know, if you're into thrash metal, you're going to see a pure thrash show, and it's just, and we love what we do. So, you know, we're not up there trying to be the toughest, meanest band ever. We're up there having a blast, and we're releasing energy, and you're going to get one hell of a show.
And you have to, because you are the last band at the last day, and people will be tired.
Yeah, I know, Jesus, and drunk. I thought about that already. I was like, all right, but we will. We deliver. I'd say maybe one of the first time we ever played New York was wonderful. 16 years old, and we played the Ritz, and it was Slayer, Overkill, and us. And then there's first outdoor festival ever was another one. We played the Roskilde Festival in Holland back in 1988. That was the first outdoor festival we'd ever played, and that was just a phenomenal memory because, you know, there was nothing like that in the States, definitely. And, you know, other than that is probably another time we played in Eindhoven, Holland, the first reunion show in Europe. That was just like, because, you know, we'd never realized how metal was still so prominent in Europe, where it died completely in the States. And when we stepped out on stage, the crowd just went mad, and we were like, oh, Jesus. You know, and we were playing, and every song we were playing, you know, the crowd was singing the verses, not even just the choruses, but the verses at the top of the lungs, and we were just like, okay, yeah. So that was probably that's probably the best chills I've ever gotten from playing.
But you also you probably have a favorite support act or favorite band to play with or go on tour with, because you played with many of the biggest bands ever. But who's your favorite? What's your favorite band?
My favorite band? It'd be a tough one. My favorite one I ever played with would definitely be Metallica. Have to be. Other than that, who I've had the most fun on the road with, you know, that we've toured with, tell you the truth, one of the most fun I've ever had with any band on tour was probably Norwegian band, Keep Kalesen, man. We went on tour with them, and I had so much fun with those guys. So much fun.
They're from my hometown.
There you go. Yeah, they're good guys, and they're fun. And we shared a bus, and just, oh man, yeah, I had a blast with them. They're a fun bunch of guys. It's just an absolute pleasure to be here in Norway. I fucking love it here. And this is kind of like, you know, our first legitimate show we played here ever. No, I mean, we played here with Life of Agony, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago, and no one really even knew we were on the bill. So it was just kind of playing to their crowd, and it was, you know, people into Life of Agony don't necessarily listen to us. So this is, you know, it's an absolute pleasure, and, you know, hopefully, you know, you could, hopefully this show will kind of set in stone, you know, what we're about live, and it'll draw demand for us to come back, because, you know, I definitely love it up here, and, you know, keep an ear out for Death Angel. The new album's coming out, I think, September of 2010, so...